here's Warren. Without Bridget today, she's not feeling well. But we have with us a great guest, Anja Reimann. And I know her, we know her through Anne-Mieke, who was with us a few months ago. Yeah, it's another part of that sort of contact, a group that we have. And welcome, Anja.
Thank you. Welcome.
How are you today?
I'm well. I'm fine. Thank you very much. Mir geht's gut. Vielen Dank. Ich hoffe dir auch.
Yeah, super. Danke. Yeah, this week will be a little more interesting because we have videos that are straight in German, straight in English, but this week we're going to mix it up a little bit, make it more diverse, more zugänglich. So a little bit of German and a little bit of English. So Anja, I know you have your own small business. You make websites, WordPress, Elementor. You are also a really cool artist. So yeah, pretty cool. How would you describe yourself? How do you fit into the WordPress and the small business community? And where are you? You're kind of near Anne-Mieke, or in the same city.
Yes, very near. Anne-Mieke is in Mönchengladbach, and I'm in Düsseldorf.
Düsseldorf. Okay. All right.
Longest bar in Germany. Oh.
Really? Wow, that's
Altstadt.
interesting. Okay. Yeah.
The typical saying for Düsseldorf, longest bar.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Cologne. That's competition.
Old Town is pretty cool as well. Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes,
nice.
I'm in Düsseldorf, and I'm in Düsseldorf since 2014 now. Yes.
Okay. Where were you beforehand?
Krefeld is very near. There's very lots of cities around here. Krefeld, Essen, Duisburg, Gladbach. Lots of cities. Before that, I was in Düsseldorf again, and before that, I was in Berlin, and before that, I was in Duisburg. And Duisburg is my the town where I grew up.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So for our community, for what we do, and the customers and things that we have, do you find it nice there, or do you? I mean, Berlin is like the big city. How do you compare it?
Berlin is the industry in graphics and web design is very complex and very difficult, I think. And it was not the easiest city, I would say. Düsseldorf as well, but it's not that that tall or that big. Where you have to survive. It's a bit smaller, a bit cozier, Düsseldorf, where you can have these small communities and networks like our Elementor meetup and our WordPress meetup. And I've made already a few friends and colleagues via the meetups, like Anne-Mieke, for example, or Christian Behrens, for example.
All right.
And we are a small circle of friends and colleagues, and I think this has a lot of family and friend factors.
That's nice.
It's more cozy than in Berlin. I see.
Well, yeah.
Have you been in Berlin or in Düsseldorf?
Oh, Düsseldorf I've definitely been in. I don't know when, but I know I've been there. Berlin, I've been in there many times. I was in Berlin first in 1992.
Wow.
So I got to see Berlin, not as it used to be, but kind of close. That was kind of exciting. There's certainly lots to be said for how Berlin used to be. And then I was living in Munich for a long time, and then in Bremen, and then back in Munich for a short time and now back to Bremen. But you know, one of my clients is in Berlin, and you know, in the north. Yeah, it's you know, there's certainly enough to keep us busy, I think.
And Munich is very expensive, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Munich is expensive. You know, for a 2-bedroom, it was like 1,800 euros a month to rent a 2-bedroom, and it was nothing special about this 2-bedroom apartment. I mean, you would think that that would be the price of a you know, the mortgage, a monthly mortgage for a nice house, perhaps, as opposed to rent for an odd apartment. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Yeah, no. So we have a lot in common, you know, with the WordPress, and we also take care of small clients. I mean, maybe you heard when Anne-Mieke and was with us. I'm like no big Elementor fan. I have Elementor in a couple of websites. The clients
Elementor
really
Pro?
want that.
Pro?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, the Elementor without, it's really not much different than the Gutenberg blocks. But for me, it's like an extra step. Are you able, like, you know, how do you? Because I'm thinking, except for the 2 clients I have that have like a page builder, everyone else just uses the blocks or whatever comes with the theme. So do you find that this is really helpful for your clients, this extra step?
This extra step with Elementor?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So far, I've only had one client who had problems with understanding Elementor. Most of them understand the scheme within half an hour or so.
That's good.
It's really cool.
Okay. What about the cost? Like, how does the cost come in if you're selling a project or just getting up?
What do you mean exactly? The pro version? How I include it within my quotation?
Because this is a yearly thing. Like every year, this needs to be purchased.
I don't know what Wartungsvertrag.
How
can I express that in English?
No, it's a service contract.
A service contract, monthly service contract, or a 3 monthly service.
Okay.
I always suggest that to my clients, and it's up to them, of course, if they say yes or no. It's still hard to explain how it is so important to update every plugin and to take care of a website with the newest WordPress version and so on. For example, the school I made the website for, I completely understand that they don't have a lot of money available for this service, and I catch myself sneaking into the system and looking, is there anything very difficult within the system, or are any plugins totally broken? I understand it's expensive for charities or for schools, but it's necessary, and it takes a lot of time to explain why you have to pay extra for just updates and not a theme update or a design update or something like that.
Yeah, that's very true. So it's not just small businesses, you also are involved with nonprofits and a school. So you've got the whole range.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah. Which do you prefer? Which is your favorite, you know, focus?
Favorite is really my lawyer client, because this I think it depends on the package I can offer to them. If it's a full package and I can creatively do anything from doing the logo from scratch, and doing the color scheme and the fonts, picking the fonts, and maybe doing advice, which font to pick for the website, for the accessibility, which font is best to read. This is really fun, great fun, I think.
Nice.
And the least favorite would be if someone comes with a website and says, okay, you only have to update a few things and do some content, and there's nothing there you can change. That would be the least favorite.
Yeah, that's a good
foreign websites where I just have to work with Visual Composer or something.
Okay. What's your what do you like realizing for these different groups? Is there something would you prefer just to work for one type of client? Is there one type that sort of brings you more, I guess, happiness than another, or do you like the sort of this blend of small business, nonprofit, and schools?
Do you mean a special sector, like maybe chocolate design for you, or law and?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, if I was thinking of this for myself, I do prefer, I guess, the small business, because I really like doing the SEO and the social media. And at the moment, this seems to be more important for small businesses. For profits, yes. Mostly for schools, not, because they have a lot of data protection things happening. So I like doing all three, but I guess the small business, they seem to be a little more dynamic, perhaps.
Startups and small business, I would say too.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone with a new idea. Last year I did a lot of a whole corporate design for a gin label. That was so much fun to give them advice and to create a whole new crazy idea. Something like that would be a total perfect client, where you can always improve and maybe create new labels and stuff.
Which gin label was this? If you don't mind me asking.
I can send you the link if you want, but I don't know if they already updated to my.
Oh, well, then we won't.
I know they have my logo, but I don't know if I can already show you the website.
No problem. Yeah, we don't want to be like who was this? Spike Lee, Lee, who announced the winner of the Cannes festival accidentally before anyone was supposed to know, and he announced it. That was great.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, really.
So maybe be more careful.
Yeah. Though I think this is sort of part of his bravado. This works well for his brand. Maybe
something like that. Startups or food and beverage. I love that topic. I love the industry, and because I'm very into chocolates and sweets and gin or something like that. I simply love this topic because it has an appetite, just like my name. Zart Herbes is the flavor for a special chocolate flavor.
You're right. Yeah, it is.
I picked that name especially for my love for chocolate and for how to express it. To express my love for something very sweet in designs, but also for a whole different style in designs. I can be both. I can be very light with light fonts, and I can be very expressive with fat font styles. Something like that. I want to express.
Well, that works well for chocolate, or chocolate works well in that direction. It can be very light, it can be very heavy. I'm just going to share my screen here because I think this was like this is your collages. This is something where we, I think we first connected was seeing your collages, and you've also got this cool transition on the website as well, which is pretty cool. I can imagine this sort of design working really well with, you say in German, abgefahrene Produkte, maybe a gin or something like this. It's pretty cool. So you've got, oh wow, you've got a lot of stuff happening here. This is pretty cool.
It needs an update. I know there are many new things on my Instagram profile.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to say you've got this, and you've got English and German.
Yes, in English. Can switch.
And you've got also your Instagram. So if you want to, get more up-to-date ideas, then they've got you've got your Instagram as well. Do you? Wow, this is pretty cool. Do you find that in your work that people come to you because they've seen this work and say, I want this for what we're doing? Or do you find it maybe goes the other way, that you've got an idea and then you get a client and you say, oh, like this sort of direction would be perfect for your product? Which do you find is more?
I've had 2 clients who requested this kind of style. It was the gin friend, and it was a city campaign for Bochum, the town Bochum.
Okay.
And they wanted a crazy collage photo composing for the city. That was a pitch, but they found me via Google and via my Scene Culture website.
Okay, this is nice.
And they requested the style, yes.
Okay, very nice. What do you find yourself doing more of? Building websites, or more of the corporate design work? Or are there projects where you have a nice combination of both?
I think it's mostly website designs. I'm currently working for a colleague. I'm in a co-working space here in Düsseldorf.
Okay.
Because I need to get out of my home office.
Yeah.
4 days out of 5, I need to get out of here. And I have a few nice colleagues in my co-working office, Treibhaus in Düsseldorf, right in the heart of Düsseldorf. And someone asked me, I'm not very content with my web designer, and they did a special theme, and every time I request a change, it takes a month. Can you do something about it? I know you do Elementor. And I said, yes, of course, give me your corporate design and I'll do something with Elementor. And of course, I can't do anything about their styles. They have their style guides, but I can order their designs and work with the paddings and margins and sections. So, okay, I think it's mostly web design I do.
Okay.
With WordPress and Elementor. And I've done in the recent 2 years a lot of packages, corporate design and website. And this works best for me, I would say, where I can do everything from the start, and I know where I can get my colors. I have my own color scheme, and I can start the website from scratch. And this is the most of fun, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you always worked in WordPress?
Since, I guess, 2003 or 4.
Wow. So when they first came out.
Yes. I know it was. I studied graphics design, and it was a very traditional studying in corporates and print design, and I missed the web, and I wanted to learn more CSS.
Okay.
And I started to start my own websites and blogs, and found out about WordPress around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I did a lot of things working within the loop and trying out different styles within the loop and so
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's really changed since
Yes,
2003.
totally.
I was doing, I did, mostly, handmade websites, just like coding them straight, HTML
Oh,
and PHP and things. And then the I think the first CMS was Imperia. I did Imperia, Bittrex, Joomla, Typo3. And then I really got into Drupal. I really loved Drupal. And we did a big relaunch at the university from Imperia in Drupal. And then I made the switch to WordPress, and we did a big relaunch then out of Drupal into WordPress in 2013, 2014, because that's when, suddenly mobile
yeah.
responsive and, WordPress were first out of the box. They had a theme that was responsive, and Drupal didn't yet. So that was a big decider because we always had to put in our style sheets and everything, and it was a lot of work. I mean, it was fun, but it was a lot of work. And now you don't even think about it; it's just sort of done. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, where do you think it's going to go from here? After WordPress, or is there going to be, because we have Classic Press, which is a WordPress, up until about 4.9, version 4.9. So there's no Gutenberg in it, and
Okay.
a lot of people use that. Smaller clubs and things that they just want to put text and pictures. They don't want anything moving. They don't want any blocks. So this Classic Press alternative. But I'm wondering.
Don't know it. Don't know.
Really? Oh, you have to check.
Sorry.
Well, Classic Press, it's exactly like WordPress,
Okay.
but as if WordPress 5 never happened. Otherwise, everything's the same. Plugins, you'd never know you weren't in WordPress, and it's free.
Have to know.
Yeah, definitely check Classic Press. That's pretty cool. But now there really is that move towards the mobile pages, the AMP pages, and I know that I notice things about that in WordPress, but I'm really wondering what the next best thing is going to be, or the next big thing is going to be.
Maybe only a framework like Elementor as a standalone app, or
I think so. Yeah, because I mean, if you've got Elementor Pro or Beaver Builder or whatever it is, it's like, well, the only thing you really need is then something to wrap around, and that can't be. I mean, it can't be so difficult here. I say it can't be that difficult. I couldn't program it, but it shouldn't be so difficult. Yeah, that's really interesting. So I mentioned that Bridget and I, we put out this book on for small businesses, online marketing for small businesses, and then at the end of this month there'll be the online marketing book for nonprofits. But then the biggest one, I guess the more difficult one, I think we're waiting to the end. This is online marketing for schools, and you've done a school, you've worked for a school as a client. I've also got schools as clients. I find them really a different type of website, totally, very different demands, and maybe a little less design focused. What's your thought on that? Like, what's been your experience? Unless we're talking an art school, who are probably building their own website as we speak. But how do you find this, with schools and online marketing, or websites at all?
The clients, what the focus is?
The clients, and maybe also the finished product. Do you find them noticeably different?
This is difficult. I would change a lot of stuff I had done last year or the year before.
Okay.
For the school now. I had a project manager who was very into designs and into trends and trying out something new, fresh colors, and I was able to recreate the logo.
Okay.
Was very lucky with this project manager, and also with the two responsible ladies who serve for the content for the blog. I met up with them and we talked about Elementor and WordPress within an hour, and they understood what they can do, and they better left untouched within the system. And so it was very easy to tell them, okay, maybe we shouldn't do this logo too big, or we should pick another photo for that section. And it was a very, very good client, I would say.
Okay.
For accessibility and for usability, I think I would change a few things if I would overwork at this work now.
Neu gestalten.
Ja, also wenn ich jetzt die Wahl hätte, genau, also if I had a choice to maybe change something, I would change a few things, like making the font bigger and the logo smaller.
Yeah. I was reading, because I'm in the middle, I'm teaching a 2-week-long SEO class, and we're in the second week. And I was reading something interesting when it came to font size, and I guess you know, a bit SEO, it's probably more accessibility. That was saying that websites should actually be like 20 pixels. So what is that, 1.5? Is that 1.5 EM or something? You know, it's
I'm thinking REM.
REM, sorry, yeah. I think of REM, I think of the band.
1.3 maybe REM, I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I always have a calculator, pixels to REM.
Okay, all right. Do you find that like large, or do you find that okay? Or to me, it still seems like a design sort of thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
20 pixels is okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I still use, you know, EM and maybe 1.5 or something. It's like you're looking like somewhere between 12 and 18 pixel or something. But to put all of the content that large seems to me as a long scroll. Very long scroll.
If you have these sections with the 5 lines of text, that is totally cool. Like on my Xenoculture websites, I have it even larger, maybe 24 pixels.
Do you? Let's try. Let's see what that looks like.
When you go to a start page, or
okay,
it's even larger, the text.
This looks cool. Yeah, I mean, it's readable. I think that's really important.
It matches the style. But if you have a lot of content and blog content, I would say 20 pixels, 18 pixels maybe.
Yeah, because I've got with mine, it's you know, it's a lot of blog, but it's a lot of content. It's like really a lot of content, and
people come for the content. So I think 18 pixels is totally cool.
Yeah, that would be a long scroll. If it's like 700 words or so, 800 words maybe.
I come from a generation. I did fan pages and little blog sites in the millennium.
Yeah.
21 or so, and there was a trend where you had 8 pixels.
Yeah. Ironic web design.
It's totally unthinkable right now.
Yeah. No, I remember this as well. I did a lot of websites in Flash and Flash games. And yeah, it was really like tiny fonts.
This bitmap font, this
Yeah.
fancy bitmap fonts.
These were cool, but
Yeah, cool.
I mean, also I like sometimes the really like brutal style where you have like, this huge headline that takes up half the page. And then what it does, it attracts your attention. It's like, okay, so what is that? What is that word? What are those words? Like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah, brutalism, yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting. There seems to be a trend. I'm back to that. I mean, at least when it comes to gaming and things, there's a lot of these sorts of, pixelated games, where the game is sort of supposed to be emulated, like it's on 8-bit or something. And I know the kids really like this. I imagine if, there's certainly going to be some demand for that, but maybe for special small businesses. Like, for example, today we were looking at stores in Berlin where they create the glasses that you want, and it's all 3D printed.
Okay, Mr. Specs was.
Sorry?
Mr. Specs, maybe this
the
startup.
one I was thinking of was Frame Punk.
Okay.
And I could imagine like someplace called Frame Punk where you're making your own glasses. That would be, that sort of place where you could, kind of go a little crazy, as opposed to maybe Grundschule Mönchengladbach, where there's probably a little more, Zurückhalten, a little more conservative.
Yeah. There's a style for everything, and I would never say, okay, bring Flash back. But
I love Flash.
I love Flash too. My first design for Zartherves was with Flash and lots of vector illustrations, and it was so much fun to build it. Yeah. But it was also 8 pixels bitmap font because everything above 8 pixels looked ugly. So it's too limited. But I would never say, okay, abandon Flash or abandon animations. There's a market and a style for everything, and
yeah,
it should stay creative and open and open for every decade of styles.
Yeah, I really liked Flash because there, in one palette you had movement, you had music, you had physics, so you could like pull things, move things, and things bounced, and all of this is just so amazing. And if you're talking time on site, you could spend half an hour on some of these sites. It would be very interesting to see what the bounce rate was when most sites were Flash, including a Flash intro, compared to now, where we're also busy and we look at a site on the mobile and in 2 seconds we're gone.
Yeah. It's a total different behavior. Browsing behavior.
Yeah, that would be interesting to find out because that's kind of cool. Yeah. Wow.
Now, people stopped by. There was a very cool online magazine that had a complete Flash solution, and people stopped by just to flip through the pages and to see everything. And I miss staying somewhere and resting on this site and just taking in all the beautiful designs and beautiful fonts.
Yeah, fonts, certainly in the designs now, it really seems to be a lot about the word, and which is, I guess, no coincidence, as so many websites are in WordPress. At the same time, because we're most of us are using the same CMS, and maybe by default a lot of similar themes. After a while, I mean, CNN looks like BBC, looks like my small client here, and it looks like that. But Flash websites, they were like, wow, just all totally different because there were no templates, there were no themes. If you built, you built. If you didn't have anything.
Right, exactly.
So it really comes down, I guess, now to the content, function over form, as opposed to or maybe function over form, or form over function, possibly. You know, we all seem to be looking for something. We need to find it, and then, you know, we're done. Yeah, that would be interesting, maybe to bring in certain element of, you know, playful elements. I mean, even your collage website, you know, you have the urge to scroll back up and down, and then you want to see, you know, this again, and that's kind of cool. So how do you find your time on page for your analytics? Do you find people staying a lot on your page?
I don't have a Hotjar. It's Hotjar where you can see the visitors' behavior on the page. I don't have it installed on my Zine-Culture, so I don't know how it is on Zine-Culture. I know on Zart Herbes it's a very weird behavior. People click on. I have a spinning dish on my Zart Herbes website, and they keep trying out to click on this dish, and they move up and down and try total different types of clicking on content. And I just want them to click on this very big serif words, and it's interesting how difficult. This is a school, by the way.
Okay,
but this is a good point. You have to remind me. I have to install my Hotjar, or connect my Hotjar with Zine-Culture.
Yeah, that would be really interesting to see. I mean, yeah. I have maybe, I mean, it really depends. It's anywhere from, you know, 30 seconds to 3 minutes of on my page. But it's, you know, it's all either
really, really great.
Well, it's probably me too. I mean, I have recently now in the blog posts, I'll build the videos in there, like I'll link them from YouTube, so that there's some other reason for people to stick around. But it's kind of difficult because you know, trying to get eyes everywhere, you know, on your social media, on your site, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's a lot more challenging.
What tool do you use for tracking your visitors?
I use either Google Analytics or Matomo, and Matomo's got the tracking, eye tracking, and, you know, mouse tracking and things. Matomo is, I mean, it's okay for the 2-week test. After that, you need to pay for it, and I don't see. I mean, I don't want to pay for it if I don't have to. You either need to run it on your own server, which can actually slow your website down, or you use their cloud. The interesting thing for me with Matomo is that if I'm looking for an individual user on Google Analytics, that's not easy to do. I need to pull information out and then assume which user this was. But in Matomo, which is ironic because they market themselves as a very data protection friendly solution. In Matomo, you can see everything about individual users.
Okay.
You don't, you just, it's right there. And then you can track. So as soon as they visit once, you can see, you know, their device, the time of day, their city, everything they've seen, how long they've been on every page, which is I was really shocked because I'd heard that it was so data friendly, but in comparison, I would say Google Analytics is maybe, though, I mean, I don't know. But it's certainly interesting to try it out for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Nicht so datenschutzfreundlich, ja?
No, I mean, no. But well, we could talk about Datenschutz for half an hour or more.
Oh God, please no.
No, stop.
I have to phone my colleague Christian for that.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, for sure. Well, it was really cool talking with you. I think it'd be really nice to get Anne-Mieke and you on as well, and then bring Bridget back.
That is a great idea.
Very cool. Yeah, we definitely need to do that. And yeah, so if people are looking for you, where do you want them to go? Where do you want your hits? you want them on your website or your?
This is, I would say, this is my main site,
This
Zartherbes
one?
Design.
Okay.
Yeah. This is my freelance name, Zartherbes.
Okay. You've got, you have Instagram, we saw. And what else do you have?
I have an Insta channel for my Zartherbes, but I'm very lazy. I'm more busy on my Cineculture Instagram.
Can people find you on Twitter?
On Twitter too, Zartherb. We are following each other already.
That is true.
Oh God, I already see the trends. Oh God.
There you are. So people can follow you also on Zartherb. This is really cool. Near you, I mean, sort of near you is, you know, talking about small business is Nate with his chipmunk. He's down there as well. He's sort of down. He's north of Stuttgart and maybe a little left. So he's definitely within your area. We were talking with him last week. He's great. He's building a chipmunk.
He's cute.
For shopping. Yeah. That's that was pretty cool chatting with him. And I don't know if he uses WordPress or not, but yeah. Probably we're all connected there somehow. Good.
Totally. And we have a WordCamp coming up right now.
When is that?
I know that Anne-Mieke is having a lecture or a session on this Friday. So I think it starts Friday.
Is it a special one for Düsseldorf?
It's completely online.
Okay, yeah, here I found it right here.
WordFest?
Oh, no, that's impossible. That's from 2019, Düsseldorf.
I think it's called WordFest.
All right, I saw this on Twitter. There we go. No, this is Calgary. See how bad see how bad Yahoo is? Okay. Google, thank you. So we're looking for WordFest.
Or maybe try Anne-Mieke's Twitter, and she's
WordPress Live 2021. There we go. See?
Yes, this looks.
So that's next week.
Right.
Okay, I like these flat designs. I really like Undraw. That's pretty cool. Nice. Okay, and are you going to be here as well?
I will definitely switch in and watch a few talks.
Nice. Oh, Kate, I know Kate. Well, no, it's like these people you're connected with on Twitter and exchange information, and then suddenly these are people you know.
Totally.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was great chatting with you, and we're going to talk again. And you have a great evening in Düsseldorf. Okay.
You too in Bremen, and
thank you.
A lot of gute Besserung.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got my arm here.
And for you too.
Bridget's under the weather.
Is this a vaccine for you, or is it?
No. Just like, I don't know why, age, I guess. I mean, yesterday afternoon, for no particular reason, my elbow started to hurt, and then it started to swell, and now it's full of fluid.
Maybe a bug or something. Nature. Simply nature.
Nature could be, because I spent Saturday cutting down all these hedges and cutting the lawn, and obviously nature has attacked me.
Nature is it.
Yeah, not good. We need less trees.
Gute Besserung für dich auch.
Thank you. Vielen Dank, Anja. All right, dann have a nice evening.
Dankeschön an dich. Okay. Dir auch schönen Abend.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.